I want to see how far I can go in a campaign only using an army of heroes. When deciding which faction to play for this, I came to realize that most factions only have like 3 to 5 heroes, not really enough for a varied army. And then I remembered there's one faction that's had 19 DLCs and actually has 7 heroes. It's of course the Skaven. So rats it is, and I chose to play Throt for this purely because I want Ghoritch. Starting off then in the northern Kislev region, we got Kislev problems, and being that this is hero only, we must rid ourselves of our starting army, although we do start with 1 hero, so that's at least an army of 2. Anyone remember that game? For now, I need to fall back though, as I can't take on the starting army, but I don't have long to wait as I can get assassins and chieftains from tier 2 buildings, and then most of the rest of the heroes come from tier 3. For now, I am going to recruit another lord and have him travel around with my main army so he can beef it up a little bit. I also sadly can't use Throt's laboratory and get all the buffs from that. It only applies to units, not lords and heroes. I was able to level my Packmaster quite nicely though, just attacking a nearby settlement with the hero actions. This of course allows me to beef up the battle capabilities of my heroes. With those tier 2 buildings constructed, I was now able to get 2 chieftains and 2 assassins, tripling the size of my army. I used some of them to have a little scout around and again trying to get some experience doing various things. But then this local tramp declared war on me and I had to change my plans and recall all my heroes, trying to get them all back into the army as quickly as possible. Also getting my second lord around and putting him in ambush so we could try to catch this invading army out. And it is a big old stack coming in from the west here, but we are as prepared as we can be. Rolling into the turn, we'll see what happens. They come at us, and of course, would you believe it, my 90% chance ambush has failed. Ooh darn, I'm just so unlucky. I guess I'm gonna have to fight this. I try to hide my heroes in the forest until the reinforcements arrive, but the cavalry find us and jump all over us. However, it's not too bad as this is only weak cavalry and we've got 5 heroes all clumped up together, so they're actually doing pretty good damage. I'm going to allow myself to use summons throughout this campaign as well. We've got the menace below, Throt's got the rat ogres, the Packmasters I think can get wolf rats later on, so we're going to allow ourselves to use those and help us in our battles. Eventually the reinforcements do arrive and I start to try to tie things up, stop them firing their missiles as much as possible, and it's just a case of wearing everything down slowly but surely with both reinforcements and our heroes. Having 2 assassins, we can nicely get after enemy lords and heroes as well, so that definitely helps. But we come away with a close victory and then go ahead and finish that army off so it doesn't bother us anymore. And what do you know, after that battle I'm able to get those wolf rat summons I was just talking about. Then as I roll through the next turn, I now get attacked by the Druzina Enclave, who I started at war with. So we do some battling with them, and it's pretty much the same as it's always going to be fighting Kislev. Just try and tie up the missiles and wear them down. My heroes will survive pretty well fighting infantry, and I can try to get rid of their lords and heroes as quickly as possible too. So we repel their attack. Our heroes are pretty beaten up, but they do all survive. I then take the time to replenish and decide now I need to start pushing out and taking more settlements. Otherwise, I'm never going to be able to create more buildings and get more unit cap for my heroes. So I begin my assault of Fort Stragov. I just need to bring over my extra lord. When I get into this battle, this is the first battle we're fighting without any support from a garrison army, so this is all heroes and lords here with a few cheeky summons. I pretty much tried to put 1 unit fighting 1 unit of the enemies, because a single hero should be able to beat up, for the most part, a low tier infantry pretty well by itself. But this hero only army, there's not really a lot to do tactically. You kind of just charge them in and let them do their thing. You can't really flank or hammer an anvil with a bunch of heroes very well. So mostly so far it just feels like a case of tie things up and kill the lords as quickly as possible. With this victory though, we gain Fort Stragov, and I'm going to upgrade it to tier 2 so I can get the tier 2 building for more heroes much sooner, and the army shall grow nicely. I'm aiming to get a full stack of heroes, so hopefully we can get that done and it won't take forever. Katerin has just declared war on me though, so things are about to get a little tougher. Especially as that homeless guy is back again, this time with a big old stack full of armored Kossars, which is going to be quite tough for us to get past. Our garrison is still pretty beaten up. We've got full health heroes though, so I guess we're going in for another one. Not much to say here that I didn't say in the other couple of battles, pretty much the same kind of deal. My army gets slowly dwindled down though, as this is a tougher army with all the armored Kossars, and eventually I'm left with nothing but my lord and heroes, and still quite a lot of Kislevites to get through. Bunching our heroes together though allows us to beat up the clumps of infantry as they gather round us, and we are able to beat them away slowly but surely, although my heroes did take a fair old pounding, nearly losing a couple of them, but we made it. With this victory, we now get the quest issued for the Whip of Domination, which you know what that means. The quest battle at the moment, though, is looking a little bit too tough. I've only got like an army of 6, so gonna need a few more heroes in the army to be able to take that on, I think. And I'm ever growing. It's on the way. I'm getting a new assassin here. I'm upgrading all these as we go, so they're getting stronger, which is always going to help as well. So it shouldn't be long until we're boogieing down to Ghoritch town. The Kislev armies keep coming thick and strong though. As another one approaches, I am going to fight this battle, but we'll skip over that. It's more of the same. I then realized that, hey, Consolidating has actually become a self-fulfilling prophecy because he is now fully a tramp because he doesn't have any settlements left. He's been absolutely ravaged by Norskins. It's almost like he shouldn't have kept coming after me all those times. And now I shall have my revenge with my small hero army only and the extra lord. And with that, it's bye-bye Great Orthodoxy. As I travel home to replenish, I of course get attacked by more Kislevites while my heroes are in pretty bad condition because I auto-resolved and it was a Pyrrhic victory, so we're in pretty bad shape and I gotta be careful in this one not to lose any heroes. It's actually a little bit more of an organized fight for a change. I'm gonna get a hero Phallus of Doom going here, getting after that lord in the back line, although she does seem to be just the back line, but we're gonna flank around, do the usual, away they go. I did very, very, very nearly lose a hero or two though, so we got them out just in the nick of time, and everyone survives home for tea. After beating down this army and a few turns on of replenishing, I'm now going to push on the goddamn enemy to stop their millions of armies coming after me, and at this point I'm a bit tired of them, so honestly in this one I just run for the victory point, cap that with my sneaky boys, and take the easy W. And with that, another settlement captured and another potential place to get some more unit cap for my heroes. As I'm hanging out preparing my next move, I got Kislevites on my border, and of course, they come at me once again. And I really should fight this to get the best result, but these fights are just kind of boring in all honesty. Over the next turn I'm replenishing, but I've got some boys in ambush because I can see this big Katerin army, and indeed it does come for me once again. I am going to get the ambush, but I'm kind of wishing I didn't auto-resolve now, as I'm in a little bit of a tough spot, but I think we can handle this. Going to bring my heroes in all together, try and engage as many units as we can without being spread too thin. The enemy has kind of come in as one big mass, so just going to try and envelop that as much as I can with all my reinforcement units. Keep the missiles from firing, kill the heroes and lords, blah blah blah, usual stuff. I've got Katerin pinned down and a couple of assassins on her case, so she shouldn't last too much longer, and after she does fall, the rest of the army isn't too far behind. So we get her army out the way, but oh scheisse! Another one comes along, she's got 2 stacks. I'm able to retreat though, retreat again, and I'm able to just about get clear of these. Very lucky there. Don't think I would have been able to win that fight, so I'm able to replenish a little bit. These 2 armies are sat together. The only thing I can really do here is try to get an ambush again, so I'm going to set that up, and we get them. It's the big fresh army, but we've got nice replenishment on our heroes. They come back pretty much full health in a turn or 2, so they're back. I'm just going to take the auto-resolve here. I probably shouldn't, knowing that there's another Kislev army not too far away, and oh look, there it is. But it's fine. I probably could win this if I fought it, but for now, I'm just going to try retreating, which does work in this case. That's going to allow me that little bit of replenishment time. The enemy won't be able to replenish. And now they've actually left themselves stood next to my settlement with my extra lord. My big army comes back over, and there they go. We got an ambush on that attack as well, so easy pickings. Kislevites deleted from this area, at least for now. I've now got the buildings to get sorcerers, and apparently I can get 5 of them, although I'm only going to get 3 of them for now, and a warlock engineer, as that's probably my preferred Skaven caster. And with my army now at the perfect Skaven size of 13, I've got some breathing room to go after my boy. So I'm going to attempt this quest battle with my army of 13. Looks like we do get some help though, which I didn't realize. I wish I'd known that sooner. I would have tried this sooner. But no bother, in we go. Going to max out the menace below. And you know how it does a little dialogue intro scene? Well, it's doing that, but you see this motherfucking giant down here just swinging on my boys before I can even start the battle and play. Never before has it been more true that the AI cheats. Luckily, my boys are tough as nails, and there hasn't been too much damage done. Maybe there wasn't any, maybe they were invincible for that intro scene, but there's a few heroes, large stuff coming in quick, but I got all my heroes. I'm starting to get some bone breakers from all the chieftains that I have, so this army is getting bigger and more powerful by the turn. And as for this battle, honestly, it was just a massive blob fest for the most part. I mostly had to deal with the large stuff and the monsters. The infantry didn't really come over. That was fighting the AI ally army that I had. So for the most part in this battle, I only had to fight like half of that army that was on the pre-battle screen, so it was actually really goddamn easy. Probably would have been doable when I had just an army of 8. So quest complete, and guess who's going to make it an army of 14? Sorry, am I overusing that bit now? I'm getting a bit carried away with it. I'll stop. Only joking. Remix. Alright, I think you know who it is now. It's Ghoritch, in case you missed it. He's now joining our army, so we just got a whole lot more powerful. Checking out my victory conditions, I realized that I'm halfway there to the short victories. Well, sort of. I haven't really taken many settlements, but I've taken out most of my Kislev enemies. Just got to finish off Katerin. Looking and scouting into her lands, I see that Kislev is undefended, so you know we're going in for that. Ghoritch's first fight, taking Kislev, sounds good. For this one, I aim to destroy the army that's there rather than go after the victory objective. I've got the bulk of my army going through one gate, and then Ghoritch and the sneaky boys going through another gate. So the main force comes in, starts dealing with the bulk of the army, but Ghoritch in his 102 speed weaves his way through the city to come up behind the enemy very, very quickly, deals with some armored Kossars that happen to be stood on one of the barricades, and then makes his way down to meet the rest of the force that's finishing up what's left of the Kossars trying to hold the gate, and that is the end of them. And with that, Kislev falls and we gain another nice settlement for increasing our unit cap, another 6 heroes, and we'll have that full hero stack. On to the next turn, and I notice Zavastra is undefended, so we're going to have that one. Decisive victory, nice easy take. Kislev on their last legs now, only 1 or 2 settlements left. They're doomed. Although not going down easy, Katerin comes back on us with a small army. Luckily, my other lord, my powerful level 13 lord, all about the appropriate numbers today, is there to support this crappy garrison. I don't think they could have maybe won this without him, so that's a good save. But from this battle, I learned my new favorite insult, bell polisher. Use it in a sentence. Alright, mate, you are an absolute bell polisher. So while I'm gaining new insults, I'm also gaining more heroes. The army does keep a-growing, but as I move towards Katerin's last settlement, I go to take it, and I'm able to walk straight in. I think it must have been attacked by these tree people that are stood right next to it, and that pretty much spells the end of Katerin and her Kislevites as she attacks one of my settlements, is besieging it. I come out to fight her, finish her off with a Pyrrhic victory, and that is the end of the Ice Court. From here, deciding what to do next, I decide I want to get that full 20 stack before I finish this up. But I suddenly realize that, oh no, hold on. There's an elven faction around. Why? Oh no. I can't let these bell polishers keep running around. So I take it upon myself to cleanse the land of the elves before I finish this campaign. There's only a few elves in this army, but that's enough of a reason to get rid of them. So I launch my assault, declare my war on Draika, and even manage to get myself a cheeky ambush in the process, which is always helpful. But with previous knowledge of fighting Draika in battle, I'm just going to take the auto-resolve on this one so I'm not terror-routed all over the place, as her armies just tend to do to you. From there, I move on to attack one of her settlements, Vitevo, which I actually need for one of my provinces, so we've gained that now as well. She only had like 5 or so provinces left, so not too much to deal with, just depends how many armies she's got. Using one of my many heroes, I decide to scout in to find out. I find she's got one big stack sat there, but she's also lost Griffin Wood, her starting tree. It's been taken by Ostermark, so that's good for me. It means she's not going to have that tough place to try and take. From here, I move on to take Nagenhof, which is easy and undefended. I then start coming back towards the mountains to try and take those settlements. One of them, a gold mine, would be very nice. Draika brings her army over towards Nagenhof, which she's probably going to take, but I don't really care. It's just a settlement by itself anyway. It's not part of a bigger province. Going to move on and take the gold mine first of all and focus that down. She is then going to move on and take Nagenhof, so that's that. Although she does only raise it, doesn't actually take it for herself, which is fine with me. I tried to see if I could get Vlad the Dad to join the war against Draika, but he's not going for it, the old bell polisher. So I keep pushing around to take this settlement to finish it off. Draika seems to have run away. I thought she might push more into my lands to take some more of my stuff, but she seems to have been deterred. I'm now able to get a couple more Packmasters as well, as I only had the 1 before, so 2 more. That's nearly there for the 20 stack. I start to head down from the mountains to move towards Draika's last settlement to hopefully finish her off. Just got to track a big army down. Scouting ahead with one of my heroes again, I find a smaller army just in Essen. Looks like her main army is either off somewhere else or has been beaten up, and that's all that's left. She is at war with the Empire though, who are of course a very large faction at this point. So maybe her main army is off fighting them. Either way, I make my move towards Essen to try and finish it off. The army has grown significantly, though. It's pretty much a full stack battle now. I'm hiding in the woods, 80% chance of ambush. Fails, obviously. That army comes at me. It now has Draika in it, so I guess she was wounded somewhere. It was a tree man lord just now. But I'm going to fight this, even though I could take an auto-resolve Pyrrhic victory, because you know I can't resist the chance to bash on some elves. There's only 3 of them, but I'll take it. Ghoritch needs to eat some elves. So I charge my hero boys in, and the enemy seems to kind of gather around them and get all over them, making them a nice big blob, easy for Ghoritch to do some destroying. How about a Ghoritch montage? So for the most part, we did just sit in the clumps of infantry and let the heroes go to town, use the magic here and there, drop the summons. Not really a lot of movement to be had with this kind of army, to be honest, but it works. With that, we destroy this Draken army. My heroes not taking too much damage overall in the process, certainly better than a Pyrrhic Victory auto-resolve. I then fall back to replenish, but on the next turn I decide to try and take Nagenhof so that I can trade it to Ostermark, but whoa, a cheeky little ambush army, eh, Draker, you stinking bell polisher. Luckily they didn't get me and I'm able to retreat from this, otherwise I might have lost my precious lord right there. But now we got Draker close to us. I'm going to go after her. She's in trouble. She's pretty close, but she is able to retreat away. Now, I made a boo-boo here, as obviously I can still attack her. She's in range. I could go and finish that army off, but I wanted to trade this settlement to Ostermark, so I did that. But then, when I came out of it, I totally forgot to attack the army and finish it off and pressed end turn, so she was able to get away for now, but it wasn't a huge deal. She does come back on me with all of her might, all of her forces, including Coadil. But with the Pyrrhic Victory auto-resolve option on the table, I decided to go for that because, you know, these battles. With that, everybody was beaten down. I needed to retreat and replenish. Draika pretty much had nothing left. And as I moved in one of my heroes to scout what she had going on, oh, I found the Empire on her doorstep. That was probably going to spell the end for her. And coming across the turn, that is indeed what happened. Essen was taken by the Empire, and Draker's faction was left with nothing but a couple of lords and heroes. Another Empire stack was in there as well, and I decided just to head into my nearby settlement and let the Empire finish the job. I'd done the heavy lifting right, they can finish him off, and that is indeed what happened on the next turn. Faction destroyed, Wargrove of Woe. Draker and elves, be gone. So we survived with pretty much a full hero stack. We got most of our short victory objectives done, apart from raiding and raising 1 million settlements, but we could do that. However, at this point in the campaign, I'm not really sure where I'd go, because I don't think I could take on someone like the Empire. They'd have too many armies. As I can only get the one army myself because of the unit caps on the heroes, it would be impossible to take on that many armies, and they just overrun me too easily, I think. So generally, I don't think hero only is very viable, but it was kind of fun all the same. I've come to notice that my hero army is a mess, though, on the bottom of the screen here. If I sort it out, it looks like this, much nicer. A little bit late, but whatever. But there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Thanks to for sponsoring this video. If you want to see more of these kind of videos, I got them up here. Now get out of here, you bell polishers. I'll see you in the future.